In our previous class, we were studying about how to divide between good credit and bad credit in relation to input and input services. So we were studying about all profit and loss account items like raw materials, consumables, some services. So we were only studying about inputs and input services. In today's class, let us talk about capital goods. What is capital goods? If you remember, I said capital goods are nothing but those items which are capitalized in the books of accounts. What do you mean by capitalized in the books of accounts? In short, whatever the asset you show on the asset side of your balance sheet are nothing but capitalized items. So how can you claim input tax credit on capital goods? When it comes to capital goods, it is almost similar to input and input services. Say if I am using my machinery only for exempt purposes, no credit is available. If I am using the machinery only for taxable purposes, I am using a machinery only to produce taxable goods, entire ITC is available, entire input tax credit is available. Real confusion starts where I am using the same machinery, for exempt supply as well as for taxable supply. We studied that if the same input is used for both the purposes, we used one formula, that is E by F into C2. That is what we used in inputs and input services. But when it comes to capital goods, there is a slight change. Here we need to follow 3 steps to solve the problem. Step number 1 is to find out the common credit. What is common credit? Common credit is the GST paid on machinery which is used for both the purposes. What are both the purposes? Machinery which is used for taxable purpose as well as for exempt purposes. So step number 1 is to find out the common credit. Let us say that common credit is 60,000 rupees. Next, step number 2. Step number 2, you are learning for the first time this particular step. Step number 2 says find out monthly common credit. Now definitely the question comes, what is monthly common credit? That is nothing but 60,000 divided by 60. 60,000 divided by 60, you will get answer as 1000 rupees. What is this 1000? It is monthly common credit. Now I know there is a question saying that we know from where does this 60,000 come from. 60,000 came from the step number 1. But from where did this 60 come from? How did I get this 60? Is it given in the problem? It will never be given in the problem. Now GST provision says you have to assume that useful life of every asset which is used for both taxable and exempt purpose is 5 years. So useful life of every asset is how many years? It is 5 years. That means how many months? 5 years into 12. That means it is 60 months. So useful life of every asset is 60 months. Now what is the total common credit? 60,000 rupees. What is monthly common credit? 60,000 divided by 60. So you will get 1000 rupees. Let us name it as TM. So 1000 rupees is nothing but TM, that is monthly common credit. So step number 1 is done. Step number 2 is done. Now step number 3. Step number 3 is nothing but E by F into TM. E by F into TM. E and F we already studied. E stands for exempt sales, F stands for total sales. So exempt sale divided by total sale into monthly common credit, you will get the bad credit in relation to exempt supplies. So why are we following these 3 steps? To identify what is the bad credit in relation to exempt supply. So these are the 3 steps you need to follow to compute eligible input tax credit in respect of assets, in respect of capital goods which is used for both exempt supply as well as taxable supply. Let us have a look at one problem, one simple problem to understand how does it actually work. A machine was purchased in the month of April and GST paid was rupees 2,40,000 rupees. Exempt sale is 25 lakh, total sale is 1 crore rupees. Compute input tax credit to be reversed in the month of December. So now in this problem, what are they asking you to compute? They are asking you to calculate the credit to be reversed in the month of December. So 3 steps we have to follow. Step number 1, find out the common credit. What is the common credit in the sum? It is clearly given, it is 2,40,000 rupees. So step number 1 is done. Now step number 2. What is step number 2? Compute monthly common credit, that is TM. How do you find out TM? 2,40,000 divided by 60. So this 60 remains constant for all the sums. So 2,40,000 divided by 60. What is the answer you get? That is 4,000 rupees. Now you got monthly common credit 4,000 rupees. Now step number 3, that is formula E by F into TM. What is exempt sales? 25 lakh given in the problem. What is total sales? 1 crore given in the problem. So it is 25 lakh divided by 1 crore into 4,000 rupees. So what is the answer you get? That is 1,000 rupees. So 1,000 rupees is the bad credit that you should reverse. So by doing step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, we get the bad credit that we have to reverse. So what is the answer for this problem? Rupees 1,000 is the input tax credit that has to be reversed for the month of December. But you still may ask me, saying that asset is purchased in April, how can I reverse in the month of December? It is irrelevant when the asset is purchased. This calculation remains same for every month. Even December I need to do the same. Even in January also I need to do the same to compute the credit which I have to reverse. So whenever there is a question about reversal, 3 steps. Step number 1, find out the common credit. Step number 2, find out monthly common credit, taking 60 months as common for all the assets. Step number 3, use the formula, that is E by F into TM. You will get the bad credit which you have to reverse.